The rain hammered down like God's own judgment, turning the Seattle alley into a river of regret. Joshua Ramirez, 17 and soaked to the bone, slipped on a puddle of what he prayed was just rainwater. His knee cracking against the asphalt as a baby's wail sliced through the storm, sharp, desperate, alive. He froze, heart slamming against his ribs, because in that godforsaken moment between thunderclaps, he realized the cry wasn't some stray cat's mule. It was human, tiny, and utterly alone. He scrambled forward on all fours, mud caking his palms, until his flashlight beam caught it. A pink blanket, sodden and unraveling, bundled tight around something squirming in the shadows behind a dumpster. "Oh shit! Oh shit!" Joshua muttered, his voice cracking like the lightning overhead. He peeled back the fabric with trembling fingers, revealing a face no bigger than his fist, red-cheeked. I squeezed shut, mouth open in a silent scream now that she'd spotted him. A girl. A baby girl, abandoned like yesterday's trash. Joshua's world tilted. He wasn't built for this, hell. He could barely keep his own life from unraveling. At home in their cramped Capitol Hill apartment, his mom worked double shifts at the diner, coming home smelling like grease and exhaustion, while his dad, Dad had split years ago, leaving behind nothing but faded Polaroids and a stack of unpaid bills. And Joshua? He was the family secret, the gay kid who'd come out at 15 only to get the cold shoulder from everyone but Mom. School was a minefield of sideways glances and locker room whispers, and his part-time gig slinging coffee at the corner Starbucks barely covered his bus fare. But this tiny, furious bundle in his arms as he scooped her up, her cries muffled against his chest, it hit him like a freight train. He was holding a miracle, or maybe a curse, and either way, she was his now. He ran. Blocks blurred past, rain stinging his eyes, the baby clutched like a football under his jacket. By the time he burst through the apartment door, dripping on the linoleum, Mom was already there, her nurse's scrubs half unbuttoned, eyes wide as saucers. "Josh? What in the— oh my God!" She dropped her purse, hands flying to her mouth. She's out there alone, Ma. In the alley. I couldn't just leave her." His voice broke. The weight of her, maybe 5 pounds, all flailing limbs and milky scent, crushing him. Mom didn't hesitate. She was a pro at crises. Air shifts had hardened her into steel wrapped in soft. She grabbed towels, boiled water on the hot plate, and fashioned a makeshift crib from the laundry basket while Joshua paced, phone in hand, debating 911. But something stopped him. The cops, child services, they'd take her away, shove her into the system he'd read about in those late-night Reddit scrolls, foster homes that chewed kids up. No, not on his watch. They named her Lily that night, after the wildflowers Mom used to press in her Bible. Joshua fed her formula from a pilfered bottle, warmed in a pan of tap water, rocking her in the creaky armchair until her cries faded to whimpers, then soft breaths. "You're safe now, little one," he whispered, his thumb tracing her downy cheek. For the first time in years, something in his chest unclenched. He was terrified. 18 in a month. No car. No plan, but holding Lily, he felt seen. Like maybe the universe hadn't totally forgotten him. Dawn broke gray and unforgiving, the city stirring with its usual grind. Buses groaning up Pike Street, baristas firing up espresso machines. Joshua hadn't slept. His eyes gritty as he bundled Lily into his backpack, straps rigged with pillows for a carrier, and headed to school. Hiding her wasn't smart, but neither was showing up empty-handed to face the day. West Seattle High was a concrete bunker of teenage angst, lockers slamming like punctuation to whispered dramas. Joshua slipped into homeroom late, hoodie zipped high, the faint gurgle from his bag earning him a glare from Mr. Hargrove. "Dude, you smuggling contraband." His best, only friend, Tyler, slid into the seat beside him, blonde curls flopping over skateboard-scarred brows. Tyler was straight as an arrow but loyal to a fault, the kind of guy who'd punch a bully for Joshua without asking why. "Worse," Joshua muttered, cracking a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Found a stowaway last night. Baby." In the alley, Tyler's jaw dropped, cartoon style. "No way. Like, for real? What are you gonna do? Keep her safe?" For now, Joshua's voice was steel, but inside, panic churned. What if someone noticed? What if the bell rang, and the day dragged like wet cement? Biolab, where he dissected a frog while Lily dozed. English, where he zoned out on Shakespeare sonnets, pen doodling tiny hearts around her name. By lunch, he was fraying, sneaking to the bathroom to change her diaper on the sink counter, cooing nonsense to drown out the drip-drip of the faucet. That's when Daniel walked in. Daniel Hayes, Sr., track star, and the unspoken crush of half the school's queer kids. Tall, with that effortless California transplant vibe, sun-bleached hair, hazel eyes that crinkled when he laughed, and a jawline that could cut glass. Joshua had clocked him months ago, during Pride Week assembly, when Daniel had shown up with a rainbow pin on his backpack, casual as breathing. They'd never spoken, not really, just nods in the hall, that electric brush of shoulders in crowded corridors. But now, here he was, leaning against the sink, arms crossed, watching Joshua with a mix of amusement and something deeper, warmer. "Need a hand?" Daniel's voice was low, laced with that faint SoCal drawl, like waves on Huntington Beach. Joshua's cheeks burned. No. I'm good. Just plumbing issues." He zipped the backpack fast, Lily's tiny foot kicking in protest. Daniel's gaze dropped to the bag, then back up, eyebrow arched. "Plumbing that coos? Come on, man. Spill." There was no judgment in his eyes, just curiosity, and maybe a spark of the same loneliness Joshua carried like a backpack full of bricks. Against his better judgment, Joshua unzipped it a fraction, letting Lily's face peek out. Her lashes fluttered, innocent as fresh snow. Daniel's breath hitched. "Holy shit. She's beautiful. Where'd she come from?" "Rainy Alley." Long story. Joshua's heart raced, not just from the secret spilling out, but from Daniel's proximity, the faint scent of cedar cologne mixing with the bleach of the tiles. Daniel reached out, hesitant, his finger brushing Lily's cheek. She grabbed it, gummy smile blooming. "Hey, there, kiddo. Uncle Dan's got you." He looked up, locking eyes with Joshua. "You can't do this alone, you know. Let me help." It was the start of everything. Or the unraveling. Joshua couldn't tell yet. But as they smuggled Lily out to Daniel's beat-up Jeep after school, Daniel's hand steady on his back, a promise in the touch, Joshua felt the first crack in his armor. For the first time, he wasn't carrying the weight solo. And damn if that didn't scare him more than the storm. The next week blurred into a haze of stolen moments and whispered plans. Daniel became a fixture. ditching track practice to babysit while Joshua covered shifts, smuggling diapers in his gym bag, even charming Mom with takeout burritos and bad jokes about his new part-time gig as a nanny. Mom eyed him warily at first. Another boy in Joshua's orbit meant potential heartbreak, but Lily's giggles melted her. "He's good people. Me Joe," she said one night, stirring arroz con pollo. "Don't push him away." Joshua wanted to believe it. God, he did. Late nights in Daniel's basement rec room. Posters of indie bands peeling from cinderblock walls. Xbox controllers tangled on the carpet. They'd take turns rocking Lily, sharing stories over lukewarm Pepsis. Daniel talked about his parents' divorce, the move from sunny SoCal to Seattle's endless drizzle, coming out to a mom who baked him pride cupcakes. "It's not always rainbows," he'd say, voice soft, "but finding your people, that's the gold." Joshua opened up too, halting at first, the taunts at his old school in Tacoma, the night Dad walked out after the fag slur slipped from his lips, the ache of wanting to be wanted. Daniel listened, really listened, his hand finding Joshua's across the bassinet, fingers lacing like they'd always belonged. Their first kiss happened on a Thursday, Lily napping between them on the couch, Daniel's lips tentative, tasting of salt and hope. "I've seen you, Josh," he murmured against Joshua's mouth. "From across the quad. Thought you were untouchable." "You're wrong," Joshua whispered back, pulling him closer. "I'm just scared." "Don't be." Daniel's arms wrapped around him, solid as the Space Needle on a clear day. "We've got this. All three of us. But lies have a way of seeping in like groundwater." Joshua kept Lily off the grid. No doctor's visits. No paperwork, fearing the system would swallow her whole. Daniel pushed gently for it, just to check she's okay. But Joshua dug in, paranoia rooting deep. What if they found out about him? A queer kid with no stability? They'd label him unfit, rip her away. Then came the call. It was a Friday, Daniel's Jeep idling outside the apartment. Lily buckled in back. When Joshua's phone buzzed, an unknown number. He answered on autopilot, Mom's voice frantic on the other end. "The news. Josh, turn on the news." He fumbled for the radio. Static crackling before a reporter's voice cut through. Tragic disappearance of Evelyn Voss's newborn daughter, heir to the Voss tech empire. The billionaire CEO reported the infant missing from her Park Avenue penthouse 2 nights ago. Authorities suspect foul play. Joshua's blood turned to ice. Voss. The name echoed billboards for Voss innovations everywhere. Self-driving cars and AI gadgets that promise to revolutionize tomorrow. Evelyn Voss, the Ice Queen heiress, daughter of the reclusive tycoon who'd built an empire from Silicon Valley garages. And Lily, his Lily, had a tiny birthmark on her wrist. A strawberry splotch the ER doc on TV described matching the missing babies. "No," Joshua breathed, world narrowing to the rearview where Lily gummed a teething ring. Oblivious. Daniel's hand gripped his shoulder, questions in his eyes. "Josh, what's wrong?" But Joshua couldn't speak. The baby he'd saved wasn't just any cast-off. She was a fortune wrapped in swaddling clothes, and now the wolves were circling. Their fragile family, it was about to be torn apart. The Voss name hung over Seattle like a thundercloud, inescapable as the fog rolling off Puget Sound. By Monday, the city was a frenzy. News vans clogging downtown streets, helicopters whirring overhead like vultures scenting blood. Joshua kept Lily zipped in his hoodie through the school halls, her warmth a talisman against the chill of fear gnawing his gut. Whispers followed him, kids glued to their phones, scrolling missing child alerts with Evelyn Voss's tear-streaked face plastered everywhere. "Billion-dollar baby," someone snickered in the cafeteria. "Who'd snatch that?" Daniel cornered him in the parking lot after last period. Rain pattering on the Jeep's roof like impatient fingers. "Talk to me, Josh. You've been ghosting since Friday." Joshua leaned against the hood, arms crossed tight, Lily's carrier at his feet. "It's her. Lily. The mark on her wrist. It's the same. She's Voss's kid." Daniel's face drained of color, hazel eyes widening. "Jesus. So what now? We call them? Hand her over." The words landed like a slap. Hand her over? To what? Some sterile mansion where she'll be a prop for photo ops? Evelyn Voss ditched her in an alley. "Dan. Like garbage." "We don't know that." Daniel's voice stayed even, but tension coiled in his jaw. "Maybe it was a kidnapping. Or postpartum shit, I've read about it. Point is, she's got people looking. Real people. With resources." Joshua's laugh was bitter, scraped raw. "Resources to what? Buy her back? I'm not a pawn in their game." He scooped up the carrier, Lily fussing softly, and yanked open the passenger door. "Drive. I need to think." The ride to Daniel's place was thick with silence, broken only by the wiper's rhythmic squeak and Lily's occasional coo. Daniel's basement felt smaller now, walls closing in as Joshua paced. Phone clutched like a grenade. He'd spent the weekend doom-scrolling. Voss Industries, a behemoth in AI and renewables, worth billions. Harlan Voss, the patriarch, a ghost in the machine, widowed, reclusive, pouring his grief into code after his wife's overdose. Evelyn, the golden child turned tabloid train wreck. Parties, arrests, a string of flings splashed across TMZ. The baby, announced in a press release, then poof gone. Mom had seen the reports too, her face crumpling over morning coffee. "We have to do right by her. Mijo. Call the tip line. Anonymous, if you have to." But Joshua couldn't. Lily wasn't a headline. She was his. The way she'd latch onto his finger during feeds, her giggles bubbling up when he sang off-key covers of Taylor Swift. She'd mended something broken in him, this fierce little love, and handing her off felt like carving out his heart. Daniel watched from the couch, legs sprawled, but his usual easy vibe was cracked. "You're playing God here, Josh. What if she's sick, needs shots, checkups? You're not a doctor." "I know that," Joshua snapped, whirling. Lily startled in her bouncer, tiny fists waving. He dropped to his knees beside her, soothing with murmurs. "But the system's fucked. Queer kid like me, they'd say I'm unstable. Take one look at my life and—" "Hey!" Daniel slid down next to him, hand on Joshua's neck, thumb stroking the tense cord of muscle. "That's not what I meant. You're the best thing that's happened to her. To me." His lips brushed Joshua's temple. Soft, grounding. "But we can't hide forever. The city's crawling with PIs." Joshua leaned into the touch, eyes stinging. "What if they take you guys from me? Both of you?" "They won't." Daniel's arms encircled him, pulling him close over Lily's bouncer. Their foreheads touched, breaths mingling. "I promise. We're in this. Okay. Ride or die." The kiss that followed was desperate, all teeth and salt, Joshua pouring his fear into Daniel's mouth like an offering. They tumbled onto the carpet, careful of the baby, hands mapping familiar paths, Daniel's shirt rucked up, Joshua's fingers tracing the V of his hips. It was messy, urgent, a reclaiming amid the chaos. Afterward, tangled and spent, Daniel traced lazy circles on Joshua's back. We'll figure it out. Together, but together cracked under pressure. That night, as Joshua dozed with Lily on his chest, Daniel's phone lit up on the nightstand. He snatched it quick, but not quick enough. Joshua caught the glow, the furtive swipe. Who is it? Just Mom. Daniel's voice was too casual. Screen angled away. Checking in. Joshua nodded, but doubt wormed in. Paranoia. Maybe. Or instinct. The tip line call came Tuesday. Anonymous from a burner app Daniel insisted on. Joshua's voice shook as he described the foundling in vague terms. No location. No details beyond the birthmark. She's safe, he ended. That's all you need to know. The line went silent. Then, sir, this is crucial. If you have the child, click. Heart hammering. Joshua smashed the phone under his heel, shards scattering like his resolve. Daniel, waiting in the Jeep, didn't ask. Just drove them to Golden Gardens Park, where the sound crashed against driftwood logs, and they picnicked on PB&Js, Lily gnawing a crust under a checkered blanket. Felt normal. Almost. Until the black SUV pulled up at dusk, tinted windows gleaming like obsidian. Two suits emerged, men in crisp Burberry, earpieces glinting. Joshua Ramirez, the taller one, buzzcut and bulldog build, flashed a badge. Private security, Voss stamp. Daniel stiffened beside him, Lily in his lap. Who the hell? We're here about the baby. Buzzcut's eyes locked on the carrier, voice flat as Puget mud. Hand her over. No fuss. Joshua's blood roared. She's not a package. And how'd you find us? Tip, the second guy, slimmer with a ferret face, smirked. Kids talk. Your buddy Tyler? Loose lips. Betrayal hit like a sucker punch. Tyler? No. But Daniel's hand on his arm was suddenly limp, gaze averted. Joshua's stomach plummeted. Dan? You told him. I had to. Daniel's whisper was agony. They cornered me after school. Said they'd get a warrant. Drag you in. I thought it'd buy time. Time for what? Joshua's voice rose, Lily wailing in echo. He snatched her up, backing toward the trees. To sell me out? The suits advanced, slow and sure. Kid, don't make this hard. Harlan Voss is offering a reward. 50 grand for her safe return. 50 grand. More than Joshua's family saw in a decade. The number dangled like bait. But he saw the hook, their world swallowing Lily whole, Daniel's eyes pleading but fractured. Run! Joshua hissed to himself, bolting for the treeline, Lily bouncing against his chest. Branches whipped his face, feet pounding loam. Shouts echoed behind. Stop! Police! But it was bluff, private muscle, not badges. He didn't stop until the park faded to suburb shadows, lungs burning, hiding in a culvert pipe that smelled of rust and rot. Lily quieted against him, thumb in her mouth, trust unbroken. But Joshua's was. Daniel's face guilty, torn, burned behind his eyes. Love or leverage? Hours later, Mom met him at a bus stop 2 neighborhoods over, her shift van idling like a getaway car. Get in. Mijo. No questions. Just a blanket for Lily and a thermos of café con leche. Back home, barricaded behind deadbolts, Joshua spilled it all, tears hot on his cheeks. Mom pulled him close, Lily between them. Betrayal stings worst from those we love. But you're her rock. Don't let them break you. Sleep came fitful, dreams of alleys and amber eyes. Morning brought helicopters again. News alerts pinging. Vos heiress spotted. Public urged to assist. Joshua's face, blurred from a park cam, flashed on screen. They were hunted now. Daniel texted at noon. I'm sorry. Meet me, Pier 57. Please. Stupid. Maybe. But Joshua went, Lily in a sling under his jacket, the waterfront bustle a shield. Daniel waited by the Ferris wheel, hands shoved deep in pockets, looking like hell, dark circles, hair uncombed. You came. Relief flooded his face. But Joshua's walls were up, ironclad. Talk. Fast. I panicked. They knew about you finding her. Tracked your phone pings or something. Said if I didn't cooperate, they'd pin kidnapping on us both. God, I thought it'd protect you. Daniel stepped closer, voice cracking. I love you, Josh. You and her. Let me fix this. Love. The word hung, heavy as the gulls wheeling overhead. Joshua wanted to believe, craved it like air, but trust was a luxury now. How? By ratting me out. Daniel flinched. No. By going to Voss myself. Telling them the truth. You saved her. You're the hero. And what then? They buy me off? Parade Lily on yachts while I scrape by. Joshua's laugh was hollow. This isn't a fairy tale, Dan. It's our story. Daniel cupped his face, thumbs brushing tears Joshua hadn't felt fall. Fight for it. With me. The kiss was salt and salt water, the pier's salt air tangling their breaths. For a heartbeat, Joshua surrendered, arms wrapping Daniel's waist, Lily's weight a bridge between them. But sirens wailed distant, a reminder, time was up. Go, Daniel murmured against his lips. I'll stall them. Head east. My aunt in Spokane. She's got a farm. Off-grid. Joshua pulled back, searching those hazel depths. Why? Because I choose you. Us. Daniel pressed a wad of cash into his hand. Hundreds. Crumpled. Go. Joshua ran again. Heart a war drum. The city skyline shrinking in the side mirror of a greyhound. Betrayal's sting lingered, but so did hope's ember. Lily slept on his lap, tiny hand fisted in his shirt. They were fugitives now, but free. For a mile. Anyway. Spokane sprawled under a big sky sprawl, all wheat fields and wide rivers, a far cry from Seattle's neon pulse. Daniel's aunt, Maria, a wiry woman with laugh lines like canyons and a noble shit vibe, didn't blink when Joshua rolled up on the greyhound, Lily mewling in his arms. Danny called ahead, she said, slinging a diaper bag over her shoulder. Get in the truck. We'll sort the rest. The farm was a patchwork of outbuildings and apple orchards, chickens scratching in the dirt like they owned the place. Maria's husband had passed a decade back, leaving her to wrangle goats and grandkids solo, but she ran it like a general. Rules. No phones. No traces. You help with chores. Keep that little one quiet. And we pretend you're my nephew from Tacoma. Her eyes softened on Lily. Poor thing. Looks just like my Sophia at that age. Joshua nodded, gratitude thick in his throat. Chores grounded him. Mending fences at dawn, the hammer's thud a rhythm to his racing thoughts. Harvesting apples till his hands blistered. Juice sticky sweet. Lily thrived in the fresh air, her cries turning to babbles as Maria rigged a playpen from hay bales. Nights, Joshua crashed on a cot in the loft, staring at rafter shadows, replaying Daniel's kiss, the desperation, the devotion. Was it real, or just guilt's gloss? Texts came via Maria's landline burner. Cops at my door. Told them nothing. Miss you. Then, Voss offering immunity if you return her. Think about it. Joshua deleted them, but they burrowed, doubt's roots twisting deeper. Weeks bled into autumn, leaves turning the orchard to fire. Lily's first tooth poked through, a pearl in gummy gums, and Joshua marked it with a makeshift cake, flour and sugar scavenged from the pantry. Alone, because Daniel's visits were risky, but he snuck up one crisp October Saturday, Jeep hidden in the barn, arms laden with smuggled onesies and a stuffed whale. Look at you, farm boy, Daniel grinned, but shadows bruised his eyes, track uniform rumpled. He swept Joshua into a hug that smelled of Seattle rain and fast food, then knelt for Lily, who squealed and grabbed his nose. Hey, troublemaker. Daddy Dan's here. The word, Daddy hung, unspoken weight. They played house that afternoon, Daniel pushing Lily on a tire swing, Joshua snapping Polaroids with Maria's old Nikon. Laughter came easy, sunlight gilding their edges, but as dusk fell, fractured. Harlan Voss wants to meet, Daniel said over canned chili, fire crackling in the hearth. Not Evelyn, the old man. Says he knows what happened. That alley drop, it was her. High as a kite, convinced the baby was cursed or some bullshit. He's disowned her, basically. Wants Lily back to fix his legacy. Joshua's spoon clattered. Fix? Like a glitch in the code? She's not his do-over. I know. Daniel's hand covered his. Steady. But he's offering more than money. Protection. A trust for her. And for you, scholarships. A fresh start. No charges. The offer dangled, seductive in the firelight. Joshua imagined it. College. Stability. Lily in private schools with playdates and piano lessons. No more hiding. No more hunger gnawing at midnight. But the price? Surrender. Letting go of the scrappy family they'd forged in rain and ruin. What about us? Joshua whispered, voice small. You think he'll bless a gay couple raising his heiress? Daniel's laugh was soft, sad. Hell no. But we'd fight. Like always. They made love that night in the loft. Slow and reverent. Hay prickling skin as Daniel mapped Joshua's body like a constellation. Freckles on his collarbone. The dip of his spine. You're my North Star, Daniel breathed. Moving deep, their gasps sinking with the wind's howl. Joshua clung, nails digging crescents, chasing the illusion of forever. Climax shattered him, tears mingling with sweat. Because love like this, it was a wildfire, beautiful, but bound to burn. Morning brought rain, Spokane's version gentler than Seattle's lash. Daniel left with a promise. Thanksgiving. I'll be back. But Joshua's gut twisted, premonitions chill. November crawled in, gray and relentless. National news looped the story. Voss heiress. Desperate search or media circus? Evelyn Voss surfaced in rehab, gaunt and glassy-eyed, spilling to Barbara Walters about demons and stolen innocence. Harlan remained a cipher, his statement curt. My granddaughter is priority one. Return her unharmed. Questions later. Maria caught Joshua staring at the TV one night, Lily dozing on his lap. That old man's got ghosts. Same as you. Lost his wife young. Poured it all into machines. Thinks blood fixes everything. She sipped her tea. Eyes distant. But family? Is chosen. Not born. Her words echoed as Thanksgiving neared. Orchard bare-branched under frost. Daniel arrived late. Mud-spattered. With a pie from his mom and news that soured the air. They traced the tip line call. No, it's you. Harlan's sending a car tomorrow. Joshua's fork froze mid-air. What? Immunity. Josh. For all of us. But you gotta go in. Daniel's eyes pleaded. It's the only way. Betrayal's echo. Sharper now. You set this up? From the start. No. God. No. Daniel lunged across the table. Chair scraping. I went to him. Begged. Told him you're good, saved her life. He listened. For once. Joshua shoved back. Heart hammering. Listened? Or bought you off? What's the angle? Dan? Law school tuition? A job at Voss Incorporated. Daniel recoiled. Face ashen. Fuck you. I did this for Lily. For us to stop running. Us. Joshua's laugh cracked. There is no us. Not when you keep choosing them. The fight spilled into the yard. Voices rising over the gobble of turkeys in the coop. Maria herded Lily inside. Door slamming like a period. Daniel grabbed Joshua's arm, bruising grip. You think I want this? Hiding. Lying, it's killing me. But you're so damn stubborn. Seeing monsters everywhere. Maybe I am. Joshua wrenched free. Chest heaving. Or maybe I've finally seen the one in the mirror. Daniel's slap came fast. Open-palmed. Stinging shock. Silence crashed after. His hand trembling. Shit. Josh. Get out. Joshua's whisper was ice. Before I make you. Daniel left. Taillights fading into the sleet. Pie untouched on the counter. Joshua sank to the porch. Sobs racking him. Lily's cries joining from within. Maria found him there. Wrapped him in her Afghan. Hearts break to grow back stronger. Nephew. But you gotta let the pieces fall first. That night, Harlan's car arrived. A sleek Lincoln. Headlights cutting the dark like scalpels. The driver, a stoic type in a wool coat, handed Joshua an envelope. Legal docs. Plane ticket to Seattle. Mr. Voss awaits. Dawn flight. Joshua stared at the seal. Gold embossed V. Then burned it in the sink. Flames licking paper to ash. No. He wouldn't go gentle. But as Lily nursed in the rocker, her eyes, blue as Harlan's in the photos, locked on his, doubt flooded. What was he denying her? A name? A future? Dawn broke bloody. Sky streaked crimson. Joshua packed a duffel, Lily's blankets, his hoodie, the whale plush, while Maria fried eggs. Silent support. Take the back road, she said, pressing keys to her old Ford. Head south. Cali, maybe. Start over. He hugged her fierce, tears soaking her flannel. Thank you. For everything. Family's what you make. She kissed Lily's forehead. Keep her laughing. Yeah. The Ford rumbled east instead, toward the Idaho line, then loops through backwoods till the odometer blurred. Joshua drove with one hand on the wheel, the other clutching Lily's seat, radio scanning for pursuit. None came. Yet. Spoken faded, but the ache didn't. Daniel's texts piled up. Unread, please. I love you. Harlan's desperate. Don't do this. By nightfall, they holed up in a Coeur d'Alene motel, neon buzzing vacancy like a lie. Joshua bathed Lily in the sink, her splashes a melody against the roar in his head. Bedtime story, goodnight moon, voice cracking on goodnight noises everywhere. And she slept, thumb tucked, innocent anchor. He didn't. Stared at the ceiling, replaying the slap, the sting of truth. Daniel had chosen safety over chaos, legacy over love. Or had he? Joshua's phone, prepaid, Maria's gift, lit with a voicemail. Daniel's voice raw. I hit you. God, I'll never forgive myself. But I'm coming. For you. Wait. Tears pricked. Forgiveness? Maybe. But trust? That was the casualty. Morning brought frost on the windshield. A map unfolded to Reno neutral ground, far from Voss reach. Joshua hit the road. Lily's babble his soundtrack. When the rearview filled with black, 2 sedans, Voss plates glinting. Heart in throat, he floored it. Ford groaning protest as tires spun gravel. Chase. Real now. Sirens wailed faint. Or was it his pulse? Curves blurred. River flashing silver below. One sedan nudged his bumper, warning tap, and Joshua swerved, clipping a guardrail. Sparks flew. Lily's wail piercing. Hold on. Baby girl. He fishtailed onto a logging access road, branches clawing the sides like fingers. The sedans followed, relentless. Then salvation? A fork. Left to a mill town ghosted by recession. Joshua veered, killing lights, ducking into an abandoned warehouse. Engine off. Sedans thundered past, missing the turn. Breath ragged, he rocked Lily, shushing her terror. We're okay. Daddy's got you. The word slipped. Unbidden daddy. For him. For them. But as dawn crept, engine hum returned. Closer. They'd circle back. Joshua's hands shook on the key. Run forever, or face the empire. A shadow at the door. Daniel, disheveled, rain-slicked. Josh, thank God. You led them here. Accusation, not question. No. I ditched them miles back. Tracked your route. Guessed. Daniel climbed in, eyes wild. Let me drive. Please. Joshua hesitated, then slid over. Lily passed between them like a truce. Daniel gunned it, peeling out opposite the chase, toward the highway's promise. Forgive me. Daniel's voice cracked, hand finding Joshua's knee. Not yet, but Joshua covered it, squeezed tentative. But don't stop trying. Miles unspooled, tension easing to exhaustion. They crossed into Montana by noon, big skies swallowing secrets. Lily napped, oblivious. As Daniel confessed, Harlan's offer included him, a junior exec spot, strings attached. I turned it down. Told him to fuck off. Said Lily's family is us. Joshua's throat tightened. And Evelyn? Cut off. But Harlan. He's broken. Josh. Wants to meet you. Not as a mogul, as a grandfather. The word landed soft. Grandfather. Lily's legacy. Tangled but real. They drove till dusk, pulling into a Billings diner, pie slice neon, coffee strong as regret. Over slices of cherry, forks clinking, Joshua waited. One meeting. Then we decide. Daniel's smile broke, radiant. Deal. But as they stepped out, phones dead but instincts alive. A figure waited, Harlan Voss himself, trench coat flapping, silver hair windswept. No entourage, just a man, eyes hollow as canyons. Mr. Ramirez, voice gravel, hand extended, not for Lily, but peace. Thank you for saving her. Joshua clutched Lily tighter, Daniel a shield at his side. The Empire's heart, laid bare. And in that frozen moment, under Montana stars, the war paused. Harlan Voss wasn't the titan Joshua had imagined. No boardroom predator, just a man whittled by wind, face etched with lines that spoke of boardrooms won and bedrooms lost. He stood in the diner's gravel lot, breath fogging the November chill, hands empty save for a thermos of what smelled like strong black coffee. "May I?" he asked, gesturing to Lily, voice pitched low, reverent. Joshua's grip tightened, instinct screaming mine, but Daniel's nod, subtle, trusting, eased him a fraction. "Gentle," he warned, passing her over like handing off fragile glass. Harlan cradled her awkward at first, elbows locked like he feared shattering her, then softened, rocking instinctive as a lullaby. Lily blinked up, blue eyes mirroring his, and gurgled, a bubble of spit and smile. The old man's laugh cracked, rusty from disuse. "She's perfect. Just like her Nana." His gaze lifted, pinning Joshua. "Walk with me." They did, trio trailing him to a bench by the railroad tracks, trains rumbling distant like Earth's heartbeat. Daniel hovered close, hand brushing Joshua's, a lifeline. Harlan spoke in fits. Evelyn's spiral after the birth, whispers of family curse, the alley drop in a drugged haze. "I failed her. My daughter. Thought work would fix it, algorithms over apologies. But this," he nodded at Lily. "She's the reset. If you'll let her be." Joshua's walls trembled. "She's not a button to push. We named her Lily. She's laughed her first laugh, rolled over on my floor. That's her life now." Harlan nodded. No argument. "I see that. In you." He pulled a photo from his wallet. Faded. A young Harlan with a dark-haired woman, arms around a toddler Evelyn. "We were scrappy once. Garages and grit. Lost our way chasing zeros." He pressed it into Joshua's palm. "No demands. Just visit, let her know her roots. And yours, I'll fund whatever. School, place. No strings." The offer hung, velvet trap or genuine olive branch. Joshua traced the photo's edges, seeing echoes of his own fractured family. "Why me? A gay kid from the wrong side? Because you chose her." Harlan's eyes, sharp, praising, softened. "In that alley, when the world said leave her, you didn't. That's more legacy than I ever built." They parted at dawn. Harlan's private jet waiting at Billings Airport, discreet, no fanfare. Joshua boarded with Lily. Daniel waved off for cover. A solo drive back to tie loose ends. The flight was surreal. Leather seats, flight attendant with mimosas, Lily wide-eyed at clouds. Harlan sat across, silent mostly, pointing out Rocky's peaks like a tour guide. "Denali's next summer? If you'll have it." Seattle touched down soft. City lights winking welcome. A town car whisked them to Voss Tower. Not the penthouse, but a modest waterfront condo. Views of ferries slicing the sound. "Yours," Harlan said. Keys jangling. "For as long as you need." Evelyn waited inside, gaunt but clear-eyed, rehab's polish gleaming. I'm sorry." Her voice quavered, hands twisting a tissue. She deserved better than my mess. Joshua nodded stiff, Lily on his hip. She still does. Therapy started that week. Family sessions. A soft-spoken doc named Lena unpacking Voss ghosts. Harlan's guilt. Evelyn's addictions. Joshua's scars from a dad who bailed and a world that sneered. Daniel joined weekends, driving up with burgers and bad puns. Their nights reclaiming the king-sized bed. Bodies entwining slow. Healing. Told you we'd fight, Daniel murmured one night, fingers threading Joshua's hair as they moved together, gasps sinking like heartbeats. But paradise had thorns. Tabloids sniffed blood. Billionaire babies, queer savior, love or leverage? Protests erupted outside Voss HQ. Queer activists chanting for Joshua's right to family. Westboro types picketing with hate signs. School? A media circus. Joshua homeschooled now. Textbooks piled like fortifications. Worse, Evelyn's relapses. A missed session here, a glassy stare there. One night, she showed up hammered, pounding the door. My baby, give her back. Joshua blocked her, Lily wailing behind, Daniel dialing security. Evelyn lunged, nails raking his arm, shallow but stinging. Fag thief. Harlan arrived minutes later, bundling her away, but the damage festered. Trust, fragile as eggshell, cracked anew. She's poison, Joshua told Daniel over dawn coffee, Lily teething on a rusk. How do we shield her? We don't shield. We teach. Daniel's kiss was firm, resolve in his grip. Resilience. Like you taught me. Christmas came wrapped in tinsel and tension. Harlan hosted, a tree taller than God, gifts stacked to the ceiling. Lily's a silver rattle engraved Voss Ramirez. Joshua's a scholarship letter to UW. Full ride in comp sci. Daniel got cufflinks. Subtle rainbow inlay. Evelyn stayed home. Under the weather, but her absence loomed. Snow fell that eve, blanketing the balcony. Joshua and Daniel bundled Lily, stepping out to watch flakes dance. Feels like a dream, Joshua said, head on Daniel's shoulder. Best kind. Daniel's arm tightened. But dreams end. What's next? The question lingered into New Year, fireworks bursting over the sound like false promises. Harlan proposed formal adoption, Joshua as guardian, Evelyn sidelined, Daniel looped in via civil union if they chose. Build your branch, he said, eyes misty. I'll tend the roots, tempting. But roots ran deep, twisted. February brought the leak. A Voss insider, Evelyn's PA, bitter and bought, dumping docs online. Emails, therapy notes, Joshua's coming out letter to mom, twisted into grooming smears. Hashtags exploded. Voss scandal, queer predator. Protests turned ugly. Eggs splattering the condo windows, slurs scrawled on the lobby wall. Daniel shielded him, fierce, fielding calls, lawyering up with Harlan's team. But cracks showed, late night scrolling hate, his temper fraying. They're saying I pimped you out for the kid, he snarled one night, slamming his phone. Like I'm the villain. You're not. Joshua pulled him close, but the words felt hollow. Doubt crept. Was Daniel staying for love, or the spotlight's glow? The breaking point hit in March. Cherry blossoms tentative on the U District trees. Daniel's mom visited, warm, cupcake baking, but her eyes lingered on Lily, wary. Over dinner, she cornered him. This life's a circus, Danny. Boss money's nice, but the hate, it'll eat you alive. Come home to Cali. Start fresh. Daniel deflected, but seeds planted. Days later, Joshua found him packing, subtly, a duffel half-zipped in the closet. What's this? Temporary. Daniel's smile didn't land. Aunt in Portland needs help with her vineyard. Month tops. Clear my head. Liar. Joshua's voice shook. You're running. Like Dad. Like everyone. I'm not. Daniel grabbed his shoulders. Desperate. It's the pressure. Josh. The slurs at track meets. Mom crying on calls. I love you, but... God, it's heavy. Then drop it. Joshua shoved him back. Heart splintering. Or stay and carry it with me. Daniel's silence was answer. He left at dawn. Kiss ghostlight on Joshua's brow. A note, back soon. For you both. Promise. Lies. Joshua knew. Alone with Lily, condo echoing, he paced the nursery, walls painted starry skies, crib a yacht of wood. Harlan called, give him space. Love's a marathon, but marathons ended. April rains lashed, mirroring the storm inside. Evelyn surfaced clean, begging visits. Let me hold her. Please. Joshua relented. Supervised park meets. Evelyn's hands trembling on Lily's swing. Tears real. I want to be better. For her. Progress. Fragile. But Daniel's texts thinned. Busy week. Miss you. Then silence. May bloomed betrayal's flower. Package arrived, no sender, just a USB drive. Joshua plugged it in. Heart-sinking videos. Grainy. Daniel at a Cal Poly bar. Arm around a blonde surfer. Lips locked in a kiss that mocked their history. Timestamp. 2 weeks prior. Son of a bitch. Rage boiled. Joshua hurling the drive at the wall. Shards flying like his trust. He called. Voicemail after. How could you? After everything. No reply. Harlan confirmed. Voice gentle. Kids lost. Don't let him define you. But it did. Joshua spiraled, skipping therapy. Nights with Lily on the balcony. Sounds waves a dirge. Mom flew up. Her diner wisdom a bomb. Betrayals the teacher. Mijo. Teaches who stays. She stayed. Through June's heat wave. Helping with Lily's first steps. Wobbly toward Joshua's outstretched arms. Giggle pure light. Dada, she chirped. And he melted. Scooping her up. Evelyn stayed too. Weekly now. Picnics in Discovery Park. Reading board books with shaky hands. You're good at this, she said once. Envious. Dad wasn't. Too busy building empires. Harlan stayed. Distant but steady. Funding a queer youth center in Joshua's name. Paying forward. Visits grew. Him on the floor with Lily. Blocks tumbling. Laughter loosening his shoulders. July 4th. Fireworks over the bay. Joshua watched with Lily on his hip. Mom grilling burgers. No Daniel. But a new rhythm pulsed. Friends from the center. Tyler visiting with his new skate crew. Inclusive and loud. Then, the call? Daniel. Voice wrecked. I'm coming back. Please. It was a mistake one night. Stupid and drunk. I hate myself. Joshua's thumb hovered over end. Too late. Josh. No. Click. Freedom tasted bitter, but clean. August brought court. Adoption hearing. Harlan testifying fierce. This boy's her father in all but blood. Judge nodded. Gavel falling like grace. Joshua Ramirez. Legal guardian. Lily Vas Ramirez. Official. Crowd outside cheered. Activists. Reporters, but Joshua slipped away. To the alley where it started. Rain slick now. But he knelt. Tracing the dumpster's dent. We made it. Kiddo. Lily babbled. Pointing at a puddle rainbow. Yes. They had. Fall whispered change. Evelyn sober 6 months. Proposing co-parenting classes. Harlan retiring. Handing Voss to Green Tech. Legacy reshaped. Joshua enrolled at UW Comp Sci. With a focus on AI ethics. No more ghosts, he told his mirror. Daniel showed up once. At the center's open house, haggard, repentant. I fucked up. Royally. But if there's any. None. Joshua's voice steady. Lily on his shoulders. We're good. Go find your fresh start. Daniel nodded. Broken but breathing. Vanishing into the crowd. Winter solstice. Shortest day. Longest light. Joshua lit candles. Lily clapping at the glow. Mom raised a toast. To family. Chosen. Outside. Snow fell soft. Blanketing scars. Joshua stepped onto the balcony. Lily bundled close. Stars pricking the dome. Betrayal had carved him hollow. But love, fierce, flawed, had filled the spaces. Lily's heiress? Sure. But more his daughter. His forever. And in that quiet, under the weight of what they'd built, Joshua breathed free. Word count. 1002. Wait. No, this is only up to the turning point. The story needs to build to climax. Wait. Recalibrating, actually. For file 4. I need to extend the conflict toward climax. Note. To fit exactly. The previous was a mispace. Continuing seamlessly. Harlan's fresh start came with strings Joshua hadn't seen. Voss lawyers circling. Pushing for Lily's full integration. Trust funds tied to milestones. Family events mandatory. Evelyn's sobriety held, but her clinginess grew. Calls at 2 a.m. Just need to hear her voice. Joshua set boundaries, but they chafed. Daniel's absence festered like an open wound. Joshua threw himself into classes. Campus Queer Alliance a lifeline. Study groups turning to bar nights. Flirtations flickering like matches. One guy, Alex, lithe art major with inked arms and a laugh like summer, caught his eye. Coffee turned to kisses in the quad. Tentative. Healing. But guilt shadowed. Lily's bedtime stories still echoed Daniel's voice, his scent on the whale plush. Daddy Dan? She'd ask, blue eyes searching, and Joshua's heart twisted. Climax brewed in December. Holiday gala at Voss Tower, black tie. A-listers toasting Harlan's miracle reunion. Joshua went for Lily, dressed in a borrowed tux. Her in a velvet dress like a tiny princess. Evelyn preened, arm-linked possessive. Our girl, she cooed to Foddigs. Joshua sidelined. Inside, champagne flowed, strings swelling. Harlan pulled him aside. Proud of you, son. The word son warmed, but Evelyn's slur from months back echoed. Then, Daniel. Across the ballroom, in a suit sharp as regret, hazel eyes locking from the bar. Joshua's pulse stuttered. He approached, Lily on hip. What are you doing here? Harlan invited. Said it was time. Daniel's gaze dropped to Lily, softening. Hey, beautiful. She reached, cooing Dan, and Joshua's resolve cracked. They talked, stilted at first, then raw. Daniel's Cal months. Therapy unpacking his flight response. The blonde a dumb rebound. I chose wrong. Fear over you. Won't again. Joshua wanted to bolt, but Lily's grip on Daniel's finger anchored. Prove it. The dance floor called, a slow sway to at last. Lily between them, their hands brushing over her curls. It was magic. Fragile, Evelyn's glare from the sidelines a storm cloud. Storm broke post-toast. Evelyn, 3 sheets to the wind despite sobriety, cornered them in a coat room. You, she hissed at Daniel. Poison. Seducing him for scraps. She lunged for Lily, nails out. Daniel blocked, Evelyn's elbow cracking his jaw. Chaos erupted, guests gasping, Harlan bellowing. Joshua scooped Lily, backing away as security swarmed. Evelyn wailed, "My baby! He's stealing her!" Harlan arrived, face thunder. Enough! You're done. The gala dissolved into ambulances. Headlines, Voss Gala Brawl, Heiress's Breakdown. Daniel's jaw bruised purple, but he grinned through ice. Worth it. In the aftermath, Harlan convened. Evelyn to extended rehab. Custody reevaluated. You too, he said to Joshua and Daniel. Anchor her. Marry, if you want. I'll officiate. Daniel's proposal came dawn. On the balcony, ring simple, silver with engraved ride or die. Forever this time? Joshua's yes was tear-salted, Lily clapping from her high chair. But human endings twist. Evelyn fought back, lawyers claiming Joshua's instability, dredging his past. The alley kidnapping. Trial loomed. Media frenzy reigniting. Climax in court. Seattle Superior. May swelter. Gallery packed. Evelyn testified. Haggard. He manipulated us. For fame. Joshua took the stand. Voice steady. I saved a life. Built a family. That's my truth. Daniel beside him. Hand under the table solid. Harlan's testimony sealed. Blood don't make family. Love does. Judge ruled for Joshua. Full custody. Evelyn supervised visits. Gavel fell. Cheers erupted. Outside, rain cleared to rainbow. Joshua kissed Daniel fierce. Lily between. We won. Not one. Lived. Daniel's grin flashed. Now, let's keep doing it. The rainbow over courthouse steps wasn't just Weather's whim. It felt scripted, a divine nod to the mess they'd clawed through. Joshua stood there, Lily hoisted on his hip, Daniel's arm slung casual around his waist, cameras flashing like paparazzi fireflies. Mom beamed from the sidelines, Harlan a stoic shadow, Evelyn absent, her rehab a locked ward now, battles fought in whispers and wavers. Home, Joshua murmured, nuzzling Lily's curls, her chubby hand waving at the lens like she owned the narrative. Home was the condo still, but it breathed easier post-trial, walls repainted sage. Lily's nursery a riot of murals Alex, downgraded to friend, had sketched, whales breaching starry seas. Classes ramped, Joshua's laptop humming with code that dreamed big, AI for foster matching. No kid left in alleys. Daniel transferred to UW. Poli-sci with a queer advocacy minor. Their commutes synced to stolen kisses in the parking garage. Summer unfurled lazy. Road trip to the Olympics. Tent pitched by Lake Crescent. Lily's first campfire marshmallows sticky on her chin. Daniel strummed guitar, off-key folk tunes. Joshua harmonizing with made-up lyrics about rainy rescues. Nights in the sleeping bag. Bodies close against chill. Love rekindled slow burn. Daniel's hands reverent on Joshua's scars. Joshua tracing the faded bruise from Evelyn's elbow. You're my hero, Daniel whispered. moving deep, rhythm like waves lapping shore. Always were. Fall brought weddings, not theirs, but Harlan's vision. A Voss family vow renewal for the chosen. Small, beachside at Alki, waves crashing, tiki torches flickering. Joshua officiated, words borrowed from sonnets. Love alters not with time's brief hours. Harlan and a surprise partner. His late wife's sister. Long-lost love rekindled. Exchanged rings. Evelyn watching via video. Tears pixelated but real. To new branches. Harlan toasted after. Arm around Joshua. You grew mine. Evelyn's visits stabilized. Monthly at the center. Her hands steady on Lily's blocks. Stories of mommy's adventures, sanitized to fairy tales. I was the villain once, she confessed one gray afternoon. Park bench damp. But villains change. For her. Joshua nodded. Walls thinning. We all do. Thanksgiving circled back. Full table. Mom's eras. Harlan's turducken. Tyler's vegan hack. Lily toddled. Dada Josh. Dada Dan. Tugging at legs. Giggles the glue. No ghosts at that feast. Just gratitude. Carved deep. Winter whispered legacy. Harlan's retirement full. He tinkered in a home lab. Prototyping prosthetics for kids like Joshua's old Tacoma ghosts. Affordable. Accessible. Your ethics code inspired, he admitted over cocoa. Lily asleep on his lap. Machines with heart. Joshua's app launched New Year's. Beta tested at the center. Matching fosters with heart. Not just homes. Reviews poured. Saved my family. Daniel's op-ed in The Stranger. Queer dads. Billionaire babies. Redefining American dream. Spring bloomed wedding plans. There's low-key courthouse with a reception at Golden Gardens. Picnic blankets and PBR. Vows under the Ferris wheel. Joshua's I choose you. Chaos and all. Daniel's ride or die. Forevermore. Lily flower girl in a tutu. Tossing petals wild. Mom cried. Harlan clapped. Evelyn sent orchids. Proud auntie. Honeymoon. Weekend at Maria's farm. Spokane stars thick as promises. They danced barefoot in the orchard. Lily chasing fireflies. Love's embers banked hot. Years folded like origami. Lily's first day at preschool. Braids tight. Backpack sagging. Joshua's degree. Cum laude. Job at a non-profit coding equity. Daniel's law clinic. Fighting for queer families. Evelyn relapsed once, quiet, contained but rebounded. Her art therapy turning pain to portraits. Lily's face in every stroke. Harlan passed gentle. 86. Heart giving out mid-laugh at a family barbecue. Funeral understated. Ashes scattered in the sound. Harlan's note. Build bold. Love louder. His will. The empire split. Green funds for causes. Trusts for Lily. Her choice at 18. And a foundation in Joshua's name. Alley Angels. Shelters for the abandoned. Lily grew fierce. Soccer star with Daniel's speed. Coder like Joshua. Artist like Evelyn. 10. She asked about the alley. Did I choose you, Daddy? Joshua knelt. Eyes level. We chose each other. Rain and all. She hugged tight. Whisper. Best story ever. And it was. Not fairy tale. No dragons slain easy. No princes without warts. But American as apple pie and protest marches. Gritty. Gay. Unbreakable. Joshua watched her run to Daniel. Tackle hug in the yard. And knew. Their lives. Changed forever. Were the richest rewrite. In the end. Love wasn't the hook. It was the whole damn line.